User management consists of the following three elements: users, user groups, and roles. In this video, we will walk through what a user group is. Users are built using roles and user groups, and it is important to create these first before creating individual users. In this example, this will explain the relationship between users, roles, and user groups through a hypothetical role and user group setup, where different roles are given specific permissions regarding their ability to see records within different user groups. User groups represent teams of users working together. For example, Agency A and Agency B. A manager of a user group will have some level of access to all of the data managed by that group, but not to the data managed by a different group. Therefore, user groups create teams of users who can share information. However, what the users in that group can see is governed by the breadth of the data set in that role. User groups are used to create teams of users and allow different levels of access to a record within that group. Access to records within a user group is determined within the role as follows. You can either access only your own records or user. You can access all records or users within your user group. You can access all records and users in the system's entirety. Or you can have no access to records. That means admin functionality only. The actions a user can perform once they have access to a record are driven by the privileges set within the role, which we just walked through in the previous video. These permissions given to a user apply to all records they have access to. If a user has write or edit access to their own records, and also happen to have access to the records of anyone else in the user group, they then in turn also have edit access to those records, meaning they can make changes to any files owned by members of their user group. A user whose role has access to all records has editing access for cases, would obviously be able to make changes to any case. Some users, however, may have roles with no record access. These roles are meant for users who act solely as system admins. So they would manage users, they would manage forms and agencies, but they would not be able to access cases, incidences, or tracing requests.